Welcome to the Infill Podcast, where we interview the most interesting members of the 3D printing and maker communities, live and with audience participation. And now, here is your host, Jonathan Levy.
Greetings, friends, and welcome. Really glad to have you all here today. Today, we are going to be joined once again by my friend, the Swedish Maker. I don't know if you say your name, so I'm just going to call you the Swedish Maker. I think last time I outed your real name. But welcome, my friend. For those of you who don't know, Swedish Maker is a fellow YouTube creator who does a lot of woodworking, 3D printing, is currently in the midst of building out the ultimate shop and farmhouse project. Congratulations on 100K recently. That's very exciting.
Thank you.
Well deserved. And welcome back, my friend. How are you?
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm really good, actually. It's a good time to be a content creator when, at least in Sweden, the darkness is slowly going away and you see the sun again. It's just a couple of months in darkness, basically, unless you are out midday. But I'm feeling good. Yeah.
I'm glad. Now, before we get too much into the conversation, I just remembered we do need to do our my favorite beginning section, which is What's Printing, Jonathan, brought to you by our friends over at Octo Everywhere. I was just telling the Swedish Maker about all this. Can I use your real name?
Yeah, Pierre, it's okay.
Yeah, okay, great. I was just telling Pierre that I use it all the time, and right now you can see Pierre and I both have some interesting big projects that we're working on. I am currently working on a massive multi-board project, so I don't have a lot of printers printing right now because I'm out of filament. I'm waiting for some more, but I am, you can see, controlling the Creality K1C remotely, and I'm printing some multi-board connectors in the back. And as you can see, Octo Everywhere lets me actually log into the full printer dashboard for my Clipper and Octo Print printers and actually control the full experience. You can also monitor your Bamboo Lab printers. All mine are off and not connected to the network right now, so I'm not using them. But check them out. There's a free $25 credit in the description. And thank you, Octo Everywhere. So, Pierre, you told me as we were doing sound check that you're working on some large 3D printing projects. Can you tell us what you've been printing lately?
So the last thing I printed was actually storage for my for a nightstand I built, and
Okay.
I've used Gridfinity in the past, but the thing that really bothers me with Gridfinity is, well, there are many models online to just download and print. If you have a Milwaukee knife, you bet there's going to be a model for it, so you can just download and print it. But the downside to me is that they all end up on different heights. So, and that's fine, really, but to me it looks a bit distorted or disoriented. I don't like the look of it. So for that nightstand, I just drew up my own storage boxes without a grid. So I just used double-sided tape to tape it down. And it looks more Scott Young-ish, if you know what I mean. Yeah. But I'm working on a new video with 3D printing, basically tools or tool accessories for the workshop that I'm quite excited about. One of the prints I just finished yesterday drawing it up is the Festool has the sustainers, like tool company Festool, they have sustainers that the tools come in. And it's plastic, really robust boxes.
Yeah,
and they get
for those who
stolen a
don't
lot.
know, the sustainer is it's not a sustainer, as in it doesn't sustain something. It's a system of containers. It's like a Gridfinity mobile toolbox kind of thing.
Exactly,
Or like a
exactly.
mobile, yeah.
So they tend to get stolen a lot because the thieves know it's a valuable tool to steal. So I've just made a small thing that goes inside of the handle that fits an air tag, and it's just a small, tiny thing. But I had one guy who was a carpenter. He said, "Why is there no way to place an air tag hidden inside of these?" And I thought, that's a really good idea. So that's one of the prints for that video. So I'm working on like a 15 plus print video,
Oh, cool.
which I'm quite excited about. Yeah.
You just reminded me another thing that I need to say before I ask my next question, which is speaking of hiding things, I'm hiding my parents in the corner. They're visiting from California. So if someone walks behind me, don't worry. No one has broken into the shop. It's just my folks who are catching up on email since their flight. I wanted to ask you, I mean, you came from woodworking, although I think you've been doing 3D printing longer than I have. Have you felt yourself more pulled towards 3D printing and away from woodworking, or have you been able to maintain the passion for both of them?
I still have a passion for both of them, really. The thing was, when I moved to this farm where we currently live, I had to also move my workshop from a quite a big of a garage into
Right.
a very small workshop here, which meant the woodworking side of things had to take a step down, and I still wanted to make content, so I kind of naturally pivoted towards more 3D printing, and also realizing back then, like I this could be my niche, basically,
Right.
3D printing and woodworking. It sounds like I'm broadening my channel, but really I'm kind of niching down, because
Mm.
it's still a woodworking channel, and yeah, a lot of people don't have 3D printers in the woodworking community, but it's getting more and more popular, I would say.
I see every day more and more, videos like it's time to get a 3D printer in your auto shop. It's time to get a 3D printer in your woodworking shop. Like it really is getting to the point where it's just another tool, like a
Yeah.
CNC. Um, Recently, I've really started paying attention to the amount of storytelling you're doing as well. So that's obviously another whole interest.
Mm.
And I'd love to hear. I mean, I would sit in on a lecture of you and Morley, who are both doing woodworking and I think are phenomenal storytellers. I'd love to just know how you craft these stories, right, and tell them in such a engaging way. I mean, recently, as you pointed out, you told a story that moved you to tears in one of your videos, and you did another video which I loved. It was like an hour and 20 minutes or something. Uh, of just like your whole journey. How do you go about crafting one of those stories?
Um, I seem to.
Oh, I lost you? Hello? Can you guys still hear me? Because I think we lost Pierre for a minute. We lost him. Well, I'll keep you guys entertained. Let me know where you guys are coming in from. Ah, here he is. All right. You're back.
Am I back?
Yes. I
Sorry
don't know
about
if you heard.
my.
No, no worries. I don't know if you heard the question, but it was just how do you craft such engaging stories? I don't know if that's interesting to the audience, but it's super interesting to me how you go about telling stories in that way.
Yeah, so the backstory, if you want to know the backstory, is kind of I was working as a teacher for more than 10 years, and I was actually teaching storytelling. And whilst I was doing that, towards the end of my career, I started my YouTube channel, and I was doing all sorts of projects. Nothing really caught any attention, really. And I didn't understand it back then, but there was nothing else for the audience in the video. It was just me making something whilst also telling the audience, both showing and telling what I was doing, which was
Mm-hmm.
quite bad. So, um, but I knew storytelling really from my career as a teacher, but I didn't use it until I was told by someone to do a course on it. So I did, and it kind of it was a like I had to do storytelling in my videos as well, um, especially for woodworkings, because there are so many channels doing woodworking projects, and the really successful ones that stick out have something else for the audience in the video than just repeating what they're showing on camera.
Right.
Yeah, so I nowadays my videos actually start with the story or the idea of a video, and then I try to build that story out. And it's basically the old drama rules that I try to follow. Like, you have a character, that's usually me, who's the protagonist. I will do something, and I will somehow meet conflict in that
Sure.
doing. Um, so just trying to keep the audience interested in what I'm about to do. But then again, also keep it real. Like, I don't want to lie to the audience. I just try to build the story around what actually happened. And yeah, I'm not there yet, but I think I'm getting better at doing that thing.
I
And
think you're phenomenal at it, truthfully.
oh, thank you.
Yeah, I think you're
But I
phenomenal
really
at it.
enjoy it. But then again, then I do videos that is like 3D printing a bunch of stuff, and that's hard to build a story around. It's more like, here are 15 prints that you might like. So yeah, it's a bit back and forwards, because making those storytelling videos, it takes a lot more time than if I'm doing a print video. So I need to figure out a way to do both, I think.
Yeah. I wonder as well, do you find yourself having to like play up the drama? Because obviously you're writing the story after it's already happened. And it's like, I find myself getting into this place. It's so easy to like, yeah, and then this happened. And then, you know, like I need to kind of play up the drama, relive the drama in order to give that sense of the conflict.
Yeah, sometimes I have to, and it might have been you who wrote it in a group chat, that like the camera filters out
Yeah.
like half of the emotions that you show, which I think is really true. So sometimes you have to like really really try to show it. But that's hard. That's easier if it happens in the moment. I was really bad at it in the moment before. If I made a mistake at the table saw, I just turned the camera off, and I was pissed at myself for a couple of minutes. Nowadays, I keep the camera on, and I actually show the real emotion instead.
That's
So
really, really good advice for anyone considering creating content. Is I'm writing a video right now about, we were talking about filament recycling, not to make it all about me, but, and you know, there were a lot of points where things got so frustrating, and I was like, I'm not going to do another video about this. Like, I'm just going to suffer in silence. And now that I've made it through, and I'm actually, as I was telling you, printing a lot of stuff out of recycled filament, I sat down yesterday and I wrote the story, and I'm like, I have no footage of any of this. Like, I hope you guys forgive me for this, but I think I'm going to just literally act it out. You know, like I'm going to recreate scenes and maybe even put on the screen. I think we lost Pierre again, but I'll just keep talking. Recreate scenes where I do kind of like a dramatic reenactment of those difficult moments where things didn't work out, because I have no B-roll footage of a lot of these situations. All right, we're back. Swedish Farm Internet.
My phone. Hope that works better.
All right, cool.
So
yeah.
I wanted to. I'm not sure I heard everything you said, but I think what Morley does really good, and a bunch of other creators who are really digging down into the storytelling as well, is that the story is kind of developing real time. Like, I'm not sure how to describe it, but you're with the creator as he meets the conflict or the issues as they happen. So it's not like this has happened before and I'm just telling it back like it happened. You're actually there with them when they get to the struggles, which I think is a really interesting way of storytelling.
Which I guess really necessitates, as you said, keeping the camera on and just capturing everything and figuring out after the fact how you're going to record it. Or in my case, it needs to be after the fact, because when I try and piecemeal videos with an external editor, that's hard. You know, it's really hard to communicate. So you kind of have to pull everything together on the editing table and say, are we going to use this, you know, this difficult moment? Yeah.
So can I ask you about the filament recycling? Is that going to be like a tutorial video so that anyone can make what you achieved?
I mean, I've done a series. I'm on the 6th video in the series now. where I walk people through what I did right, what I did wrong. The 6th video is going to be kind of like lessons that I've learned. I don't think it's... This is really weird. I have a light that's bouncing off a printer and like reflecting on my face from the other room. I don't think it makes a whole lot of sense for the average consumer to do this financially. And I think what I might do is do a brain dump video, like for patrons or something like that, that I just spend an hour on everything that I did right and did wrong. Like you tell me, right? So like we're in this and we do this for a living, and we both have PCBWay as a sponsor, so like we can get stuff machined pretty easily. But like I think the cheapest you could get this done realistically with used parts is about $1,800 US. Like, do you think it makes sense? Do you think, I don't know if it, and that's a huge decrease from, you know, $10,000 or $15,000 if you were to buy commercial ready parts. But I'm not sure that a lot of my audience, I think, lost interest when they realized how expensive it was becoming.
Yeah.
What's your take?
No, but maybe that's too expensive for the general to get at. But I would still love to see a video, you know, where it's like, I spent 2 years trying to make the machine. It cost me this much, and yeah, like a.
That's almost exactly the intro. I would actually love. I feel bad asking you to do this, but I would love to send you the script that I wrote, because I literally put myself in the mind space of you and Morley when I wrote this video, and I want to go back and make more. I have to add more drama, but that's exactly how the video starts. It's like, after you guys, we did it after a year, thousands of dollars, and you know, I've probably spent like 200 hours of my time trying to perfect this thing. Like I finally now have, I have a panel over there, a multi-board panel that's 120 centimeters long. It's all recycle filament. That's like a big achievement. Incredible. Big achievement. So yeah, I'm definitely working on that storytelling as well. But I don't want to talk about me. I want to talk about you. Speaking of stories, how are things going with the farmhouse? And has it been in any ways more challenging than you expected it would be?
Absolutely. It's been so much challenges around this entire thing. I think we spoke little less than a year ago, the last time I was on the podcast. And I think I was talking about like, I'm going to start building my workshop. And it took ages to get there. And we had to do so much stuff that I have no idea about. And I find myself postponing it all the time because I don't know the next step. So I just postpone it in hopes of someone else coming here to fix it for me, which doesn't happen. So yeah, I'm a bit at loss with it, really, but I'm still seeing progress, of course. But yeah, I made a video about the workshop build, and it didn't do really well. And I thought, this is out of my niche. Like they didn't come here to watch me build walls. So that led me to taking the decision of I'm still recording it, but I'm doing it weekends with my wife instead. And then I spend the weekdays working on content. So yeah, it's been a lot of struggle around it, because you get to a point as a content creator and you think, oh, I'll do a video about this. Oh, I'll do a video. I saw someone do a video about how much they made on YouTube. I might do that. And then I realized like, yeah, but that's not what my channel is. I'm just going to bring in new viewers, and then that's going to hurt the channel long term instead.
Yeah, that's also, we were talking about this before, like refocusing in on what gets a video. In my case, it's less about like, oh, I have this project, I need to do a video about it to justify it, though there's definitely a lot of that. It's also a lot of, as I was telling you, like sponsors really want to influence and they want to pay you to do the video that they want, which is sometimes one of the big issues. Is it's a video you kind of want to do too. Like, Heck yeah, I want a fiber laser. Heck yeah, I want a
Yeah.
CNC. But then you realize like my audience doesn't care. They don't want that, So
No, exactly.
you have to get really good at saying like, sorry, I can't accept the machine. I can't accept the money just because it's just my audience isn't keen.
Yeah, it's a matter of seeing it as a business. I think
Right.
more than I've done, because the bigger you get, the better offers you also get. Um, like Formulab reaches out and they're like,
Wow.
"Do you want to try our printer?" Of course, you want to try their printer,
Yeah.
but it's not going to be relatable to anyone
No.
on YouTube, because not everyone's going to buy a Formlabs printer. So it's really hard to not be persuaded by your own interests in in comparison to what the company's interests are, really.
Right. Yeah, I often try to kind of I try to bring it back, and make it relatable, but sometimes it's successful. Sometimes it's interesting to see a video. Like I love this video that Tom from Made with Layers did, which was like, let's just look and compare. Like, if you spend $5,000 on a machine, like how is it different and better than, so one of those is good, but then, or how can I integrate a CNC into my workflow? But sometimes the audience goes for it and sometimes it doesn't. I think it depends also on how well you do it, right?
Oh yeah.
Like, can I use the CNC in a way that people watching don't need a CNC? I think you're pretty good at that as well. Like, you'll use one of these Xtool lasers just in part of the project, right? But that's not what Xtool wants. They want you to do a full dedicated video on it. So that becomes much harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of all, they all want a dedicated review for some reason, which is
right.
Too weird.
And you tell them, like, a dedicated video on your product is going to get X views, and if I use it in any project that I want, that my audience is excited about, and along the way, like I did a video with FL Sun, where I was like, they're like, just do a dedicated, not a review because they were paying for the video. They're like, do an overview, just talk about the features, like don't insert your opinions. We get it, not a paid review. I was like, let's not do that. Let me do another one of the videos that my audience loves, which is me reviewing, the 20 viral prints. That video in like 4 months or 5 months is sitting on 600,000 views. The brand's not paying per view. They got like massive value for money. I didn't have to bore my audience with an overview video. Was it what they wanted, of like me sitting and going, and then it also features this acceleration and it features this and it has this flow hot end and the build? No, I didn't do any of that. But I said I printed everything in this video on the FL Sun. And I mean, I think it did well for them sales wise, I would assume.
I should think so. Was it the S1 or T1?
T1 Pro.
Yeah.
Yeah, the S1's on its way here, and I honestly have no idea where I'm going to put it. Like,
yeah, I got the T1 before they swapped out the fan.
Yeah,
it was horrendous.
I've heard.
I gave it away.
Wow. What printers do you find you are using a lot of right now?
I'm actually, I think I've got like 5 or 6 printers, but I'm only using the bamboo printers right now, because to me it's more about what's working and not working, and they've been just working, so that's what I've been printing on. And
I'm shocked
I don't have a lot of
5 or 6.
Yeah, I don't have space for more, really, so I've gotten rid of a couple of them just to get the space for other stuff.
Well, I guess for you, the woodworking tools are non-negotiable, right? Like, you need a table saw, you need things that take up a lot of space.
Yeah.
And what do you need more than 5 or 6 printers? For me, I keep it to 20.
So what I'm currently doing now that I'm shooting this upcoming video is I bring out 2 printers in the workshop because I can't keep them there because of the dust otherwise.
Right.
And then I set up everything, to get the smooth time lapse. It's cameras and lights everywhere. And then maybe in the weekend I need to do some woodworking. I have to put everything back in in a closet
Yeah.
basically, and do the woodworking. So it's not really. I couldn't keep more printers than I do right now.
Is that going to change once you get the? I know you moved the silos. Like you're building a pretty big workshop, no?
It's going to be pretty good sized for the woodworking part. Then I'm going to make like an office for stuff like this, podcasting and 3D printing and shooting B-roll and stuff like that. So I hope to be able to have a bit more printers up there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. How long do you think that's going to take, the whole workshop?
Um, Honestly, I said last year, I said it would be done for Christmas. I didn't even have walls up for Christmas, so
Oh my God.
I'm betting for next Christmas. Really, it's a lot of work, and like I
I can
said,
imagine.
it's so much stuff I don't know anything about, like electricity, and I need to get help with stuff like that. So it takes longer than I anticipated.
Wow. Sorry, I'm just a little distracted because we've got like some nasty stuff going on in chat,
Hmm.
which I wonder if there's a way for me to disable the chat because we've got someone coming in on like 50 different accounts, which is super frustrating. I don't think there's a way to turn off the chat, but they're just getting banned and then coming back and getting banned and coming back and getting banned and coming back. So that's annoying, but what can you do? Anyway, I admire the hell out of you for the lifestyle change that you guys have made. Like, it's not easy, especially with kids, like uprooting and moving, into kind of like not just uncharted waters, but it's a little scary to move out. I don't know the word, if you can use like periphery in English. We would call it like moving out into the periphery. But you guys are a little bit further than the periphery. Like, how far are you from the next major city?
I would say like 45 minutes to a major city,
Jeez.
but smaller villages around.
Yeah,
We're quite close to the sea, so there are smaller villages with stores and stuff. So we're not totally
sure,
isolated. Yeah,
sure.
but it's
That's really cool.
no, it was interesting doing the entire journey that we went on. When I first decided to do it, I was sick and tired of working as a teacher.
Yeah,
Um, and when I started talking about this thing, like moving to a farm and working as a content creator, people people got really interested, but they also told me stories about their dreams. Like, I've always had a dream to start a hotel or
yeah,
whatever. It seems like everyone has a dream of what to do instead, but are too scared to take the leap and actually do it.
yeah,
And I think that's very interesting. And I've seen like surveys done where they ask people how content they are with work, and it's a majority who aren't content. They
yeah.
would actually want to do something else. And yeah, so
That
it was
hurts.
interesting. Yeah.
It's yeah, it's really cool. It's foreign to me. I can't speak on that. I've never been employed at all in a real job. But what
what
else you
what
were like
drives you? What drives you then to keep at it?
starting
As a
businesses? I just do what I
Yeah,
love, honestly,
yeah.
until I don't love it, and then I usually stick around for about 2 years after I don't love it because you become entangled. Like
Mm,
I've built two. Before this, I built two different businesses that became what I would call relatively kind of mid-sized. Like
mm.
in the millions of dollars in sales. And usually I love the first 5 years, and then it takes me an extra 2 years to wake up and go, I got to get out of this. I'm not
Oh.
happy. And
And how long have you been doing YouTube now? Since 2020?
full time YouTube
2020.
since May of 2022, I think.
Mm.
Yeah, I started the channel in August of 2021? No, 2022.
So you still
I
have
don't
a
even
couple
know.
of years before
I've got a
you.
few good years. I'm also wondering if, because, so ultimately what makes me hate where I'm at, and I don't want to make the whole podcast about me, but is after a certain point of growing a business, the part that I like is the creating, like creating a
Mm,
business, creating new products. But after a certain point, after 5 years, you've kind of created all your products, and then you're hiring people and managing, and you end up spending your entire day in meetings.
mm,
Whereas with YouTube, every week you ship new product.
mm,
And with 3D printing, every week it's a new thing, right?
mm.
And there's new technology and there's new everything. So my hope is that this will last longer than 7 years
Yeah,
for me, or 5 years of actually enjoying. But who knows?
yeah.
I set
I
myself a reminder at 5 years to be like, check in. You know.
yeah. Because my feeling is I kind of try to pinch myself every now and then because I honestly I can't believe I get to do this as a job every day. But I also think like I wonder how long it's gonna last. When is it gonna? Because anything can change at any point. You never know. So uh,
What do you mean by
I
that? Like,
don't.
you worry? What about, like? Because I feel like as long as you, and the 3D print general thing was an eye opener for me. That, like, they can take
Yeah,
it away, but
yeah.
barring that, I don't. I mean, yeah, you could get canceled, right?
Mm,
If you don't mind your P's and Q's. But barring that kind of thing, like, I always think to myself, how am I going to articulate this? I always think to myself that, like, really, we don't have assets in this business. I mean, like, I've got some 3D printers, but my intellectual property is not worth anything. Unlike my last business, right, where
mm,
I had IP, trademarks, methodologies that I developed for teaching, things like that, like actual defendable IP. Here, the assets of my business are my audience and their
mm,
trust, right? And that's like, again, there, you could do a few things to screw that up, but as long as you're not, and as you'll see if you look in the chat, I'm pretty vocal supporter of my own country. Not, I don't have my, I have my criticisms of my
mm,
country and what it does, but, like, barring that, I'm not going to go out and campaign against trans rights. Like, I'm a pretty agreeable guy. I
mm.
want everyone to be happy. So barring that, like, that's an asset that's pretty. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Like, but I think it's pretty. What's the word I'm looking for? Um, it's not. Nvidia lost like $500 billion in value. Like, my audience is not going to lose value
Mm.
overnight.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know, a company gets their database hacked and their stock price collapses, or someone breaks into a warehouse and steals $1 million worth of like, none of that's going to happen in this business as long as I'm good to
Mm.
my audience and I am honest and truthful and conduct myself well, which is, in any business. But maybe I'm wrong. Like, tell me, what, when you say this could end at any minute, like, where does that come from?
Like I think the main thing I think about is that the YouTube game keeps getting harder and harder. More talent is coming on, and eventually, um, we have this thing in Sweden, an old thing called the law of Jante,
Okay.
where it's basically a thing where you say, why should anyone, and you shouldn't think you're good at anything. You shouldn't boast and stuff like that. It's not a law for real. It's just something built
Yeah.
into us, basically. So if you ask a professor in Sweden, like, "Are you really good at your subject?" He might not go, "Yes, I am." He might go, "Yeah, I think I've got some good ideas
Yeah.
at least," or something like that.
Sure.
So I constantly have this feeling as well, like, why would anyone want to keep watching this? And like
Yeah.
I see stuff that other YouTubers do that I could never. Maybe I can get there someday, but like some people do a Q&A on Instagram. I'm too scared to do it because I think no one's going to ask me anything. why
I have
why
so many questions. I would fill that up. I get that, and I have that as
yeah.
well. Like, I'm about my craft, I'm pretty humble, right? Like, I think I shoot beautiful B-roll, but as I said in the beginning, I have so much to learn about crafting good stories. I certainly have no ego around, and I think you're the same way. I have no ego around my skills as a maker. Like I know that a lot of people in my audience are way more gifted, talented, experienced than I am. But I think I'm okay at recording good B-roll. I think I'm okay at getting people excited about things. And I think I'm pretty good. I'm decent at explaining something, like the ERCF video I did where people are like, oh, I get it now. I don't want to build it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think, I guess I don't have as much of that thing. Like I'm just in love with my audience, and I really value that relationship. And when I meet people, I'm flattered. I'm flattered that, but I don't think I'm surprised. Like I have 10 years of experience, and so do you, by the way, teaching people things and explaining things and getting people engaged about material, right? So I'm super flattered. And I'm also, as much as I say I love my audience, I'm banning this person who just keeps coming in the YouTube chat. But I'm super flattered, but I think as long as I provide value, and again, as I said, it's always a calibration, right? Like you'll do a couple videos and it'll be like, I've been way too sponsor heavy, and this isn't the projects my audience want to see. This is me wanting a fiber laser and trying to find a way to make it interesting for my audience, and then going back and being like, I'm sorry guys, I actually told Carvera, I was like, hey guys, like, let's talk. I really appreciate the Carvera, and I know you use the CNC as well. I want to ask you about that. Like, I super appreciate you guys sent over the Carvera Air. How can I make it up to you? Like, what can I do to, can I do a live stream? Can I do some YouTube shorts? Because I appreciate that you guys sent me the product, but I don't think it's going to do you justice if I do a full length video, because I'm so inexperienced with cam. I'm so in over my head. I think it's just going to make people who are considering buying it not buy it. Because they're going to be like, this is really hard, when actually it's just, I have no experience whatsoever. And they were super cool. They're like, hey man, we get it. Let us know if you can help. We'd really love to see it in future videos. When you feel comfortable, do a YouTube short. You don't owe us anything. But not every brand is cool like that. So I need to get better at just saying no.
Yeah.
To everything, including 3D printers. Which, by the way, Thor asks in the chat, hi from Sweden, when is the Core 1 review? Did you get a Core 1?
I said no to it, actually.
Really? Tell me about that.
Yeah. So
if you want
the
to.
only thing I've seen was from the Former Next. I think it was Joel who did a video on it. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's the only thing I saw, and I just saw another enclosed printer, basically. Yeah. So, and also, I'm not. The reason I'm saying no to getting printers is because mostly they want a review or me to include it in a video, and as it is right now, I'm trying to do 2 videos a month.
Yeah.
But with that, I'm also like, I've got like until June, I think, filled up. So when they reach out, they want it usually within a month or 2. I can't do it.
Okay. Someone asked me, have I ever had a strike against my YouTube channel? So I'll just answer that. I have never had a strike. I did get an interesting warning to take down some podcast interviews I'd done with the 3D printed gun community. So I took those down, but it wasn't a strike. And then I guess I should answer Thor's question if you're not able to. I'm not going to do a review, I don't think. I might do a roundup review because I've got 3 or 4 different printers here. And my audience tends to like those. But no one's allowed to do anything on the Core 1. So I can't even, I have a bunch of sample prints here that came in a box. I can't show you anything until tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific. And I'm going to do a live stream at 9:30 a.m. Where I unbox it. So
a bunch of reviews would be coming a bunch of reviews would be coming tomorrow. Then I assume.
Maybe. I don't know if anyone's had the time to do them because they all showed up
Mm.
this week.
Oh
I'd
yeah.
be surprised and disappointed if someone feels they're ready to do a review on it yet.
Mm.
Ravenkeeper says Swedish Maker has always inspired me to make things no matter what hobby it comes from. Just being a maker and diving into many different hobbies is just so therapeutic and fun. I absolutely agree. You know what I realized that we forgot to do, speaking of being a maker, is I was so busy banning people from the chat for completely inappropriate political comments that I forgot to thank this episode's sponsor, which is PCBWay, who actually sponsors my channel and also Pierre's channel in a lot of different videos. PCBWay will help you get anything made that you want. So if you don't want to buy a CNC machine or a fiber laser or an industrial MJF 3D printer or sheet metal manufacturing facility, you can get all that made at PCBWay, and they have fantastic prices, fantastic service, fantastic quality. And one of my favorite things about PCBWay is that they have a real life engineer go through every single order and make sure that there's not going to be any manufacturing issues before they manufacture it. So check them out. Link in the description. Thank you, PCBWay, for sponsoring this episode. Yeah.
Talking about new printers, I'm actually really excited to see what Bambu Lab comes up with because they were kind of leading the path when they came out with their first printer, and now it seems like they've delayed, which to me usually is a good sign that like you keep perfecting something until it really works. And I'm really anxious to see what they've come up with. I hope it's not just a bigger printer.
It's not. I can guarantee it's not. I have no relationship currently with Bambu Lab. We're on a break, which may last forever. So I feel comfortable saying that word on the street in China is, and I think I've done a pretty good job like keeping in touch with people that I met in the industry who are, Shenzhen is a huge city and a small community for as far as 3D printing goes. So news travels fast. And the rumor mill in China is that the H2D pictures that leaked are complete bullshit.
That's what I thought, because one of the pictures that leaked was actually a snap maker, which I thought was really funny.
Yes, and I don't know. We'll see. We will see.
Because that patent drawing that leaked looked a bit weird to me as well.
Well, I think the patent drawings were real, but because I think you can check the patent drawings. That's public domain.
Yeah, maybe you can. Yeah, that's true.
But the patent drawing didn't match what we saw on the marketing material, and I don't know. People said that was fake. People who I would trust to know.
Yeah.
I'll tell you guys an interesting story. Go ahead.
Yeah, go. No, you go ahead.
I can't say who, but I can say, like, just so people know, like, how small, how fast news travels in the community in China, but also how big of an issue Bambu Lab has, or had at least. This was over a year ago, with like information leaking. So I literally went from Bambu Lab's office, where I was like not signed to secrecy, but told, they let me unbox an A1 Mini in the office, and they're like, don't tell anyone, don't tell anything. And I went to my next meeting, and this person who also told me that the H2D stuff is not true was like, dude, have you heard the news? I'm like, what? And he basically described exactly the printer that I just seen. He's like, it's going to cost this much. It's a cantilever design. It's going to have a new, like, told me everything. He's like, can you believe it? I was like, no, I can't believe it. That's crazy. So like, I don't know. It's a marvel to me. Yeah, it travels fast, and but Bambu Lab has moved to a new office since then, and I'm sure they've done a much better job with security.
Probably, yeah. So what is a feature you would like to see in a printer that we currently don't have?
Ooh, I don't spend a lot of time thinking about, because I'm not an engineer, like what are features that I'd like to see. I think overall, now that I have a Prusa XL, it's so nice to have a tool changer, even for silly stuff. Like I printed some stuff the other day in PETG and I wanted just a perfect surface finish on a 90 degree. And it was like, adds no time to add, support material in PLA. Or you're doing TPU prints. This I didn't print on the XL. It's like you do a TPU print and you want to support. I didn't support this because you know how removing TPU supports is. It's like now I could just, PLA doesn't stick, I don't think, to TPU. It's like so easy to get perfect supports and multi-material stuff. So I would love to see a Bambu Lab tool changer. I think that's going to be tool changer, nozzle changer, whatever it ends up being, would be super nice. Another thing that I want to see is I don't want to see brass nozzles anymore. Actually, my mom had this really funny quote. I was telling her like, oh, they shipped this. We were looking at a printer. I was like, oh, they shipped it with a brass nozzle. And she's like, the only thing we want in brass is balls. I was like, that's true. Brass balls. Otherwise, like I don't. And credit to Creality, by the way. All their printers are now shipping with hardened tool steel nozzles. Like I don't want to see brass nozzles anymore.
No, agreed.
I'm reviewing a printer right now, or doing a video on a printer right now that goes up to 320, 120 bed. You're like, great, I can print PCCF, I can print all this crazy stuff. Brass nozzle. Come on, man.
Oh,
Yeah. What about you? What are some things you want to see?
I've been thinking a bit about, because they hinted at that, like we're making something that everyone would want, and I thought, what would that be? Like it can't be the speed because it's currently
Sure.
quite fast. All the printers are the same speed basically, but they're fast. But I thought maybe it's quality then, because quality is good, but it's still printed, Maybe there is a way to increase the quality somehow. I'm not sure how. But yeah.
Let me tell you, I've got some prints from the Core 1 in the other room, which again I can't show yet. Holy crap, man.
They're good?
Holy crap. Yeah. Like wildly good. I mean, of course, though, those were printed by Prusa at Prusa. So like take it with a grain of salt. We'll see if I can reproduce that, but holy crap, quality. I don't know how long it took. Prusa's not known for their speed, right? And it's printed in PETG, so it probably took a long time. But it's even my mom, who is here again, and was like, a lot of your prints don't look. She literally said to me, she's like, a lot of the stuff you print doesn't look that good. I was like, yeah, because I never keep a printer long enough to calibrate it, right? It's always like I get it before the profiles are done. I usually get rid of it before. So except for like the Bambu Lab machines, I'm usually printing stuff on unperfected machines, almost always. And she's like, but this is a really nice one. It's like if it meets my mom's seal of approval, it's got to be good. What else would I like to see? I don't want to see any more of these AI features, like except for failure detection. Like spare me with the LiDAR shit, spare me with all these freaking. Even Creality's starting to do it now with the K2 Plus. I don't know if you have one. I think I see one behind you. K2.
Yeah.
So
K2.
When it works, it's great, but it's like so many false positives of like, oh, there's filament loaded from the spool holder, unloaded. I'm like, there's not filament loaded from the spool holder. Printer seems to not be extruding. It's extruding just fine. Like. I don't know how Prusa's doing it, and also Bambu with the A1. They're just, I believe, using the load cell to detect a lot of stuff. There is also a filament detection sensor in there, but you don't get false positives with some of these printers that are not using all the like AI, LiDAR, special sense. Like, I'm done with that. I'm so done with all that.
For the most part, I just want the printers to work.
Right.
Like also, I want to be able to hand it off to my kids and say print something, and they can do it without having to go fix issues all the time. So that's what my main issue with a lot of brands. Also, I think Uncle Jesse, he did a rant video talking about like,
Yeah.
if you ship a printer, ship it with a good slicer and print profiles.
Yeah,
It
that's the other
couldn't be
one.
that hard. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been on a few manufacturers about that. Two different manufacturers come to mind where I'm like, guys, one 0.2 millimeter profile is not cutting it. And like that printer that I'm testing that has the 320C, like they don't have profiles for, they have profiles for the big five materials. Like this thing can print polycarbonate. Give me a polycarbonate profile. It can print PA. Give me PA. I understand it doesn't have a hardened steel nozzle, probably to save money. Fine. But, you know, give me profiles for more exotic materials. Five materials. So that's a big one. And again, you got, as you said, you got to wonder, it's not expensive to hire someone to spend a week doing it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah. The other thing I would like to see is we're getting closer to some of these industrial processes being realistic. Like, I don't remember the name of that company that did a Kickstarter. It was like a $1,500 MJF, is it called? Or no, SL, like laser sintering nylon. And then Formnex bought them and that disappeared. But someone else will give that a try. We're not that far from having, what's the process? It's not MJF. It's
Yeah, I don't know the word.
SLS, I think.
SLS it might be, yeah.
We're not far from having that. And also, FlashForge debuted at Formnex, a $10,000 Mimaki clone, basically. So take that, I mean, from 50,000 to 10, in 5 years, we might have full multicolor resin printers for $1,000.
Yeah.
I don't care as much about that, but I think it's cool that it's coming. Micron. It was called Micron, and yeah, it's SLS. Thanks to the chat.
Yeah. Yeah, I think metal is also gonna go cheaper and cheaper. Metal printing, as we've
I got an
seen some
email.
companies.
I thought that they were offering me a metal printer, which is another one of those situations of like, you know, do I accept it? My audience, you know, if they can't buy it, do they care? But they were actually offering me sample parts. Great. But then I asked how much the printer is, and the printer was 10 or 15,000 US.
Oh, right.
Right.
I mean, if it's good, that's incredible. Imagine having a metal printer at home. That's that's where we're going, I think.
Exactly. That's where I go is, okay, if it's 10,000 now, that's 1,000 to 2,000 in 5 years.
Yeah.
I wonder if we'll make that pivot. Like, I got to imagine, you know, if we made the pivot to multicolor printers, we can make the pivot to metal printers.
Yeah, and also if they were offering you a metal printer, or if they were offering me, I would probably say yes and just find a way to include it because it's got the new factor to it. Like I haven't seen anyone do it. So
right,
with a new factor, you still get your same audience, but also broaden the audience, I think.
That's true. The videos about Micron, I think, did really, really well. I'd have to ask Uncle Jesse because he had one. I think they did well.
Yeah.
And that was also not a cheap machine. I think with the cleaning station it was like $2,500 or maybe more. But then you also wonder, like, okay, if I'm the first one, am I going to spend weeks trying to QA it for them, which is another thing that I know we both suffer from. It's like I'm supposed to be doing a review, not quality assurance here and like beta testing. So what are the next projects that we can look forward from you, if you can give us some teasers? And guys, ask in the chat if you have questions before we wrap.
I mentioned doing the nightstand with the storage. That nightstand, the entire build, I did with a VR headset on, or like an AR headset, basically.
Cool.
Because I thought that was it's a funny idea to see if I could include like my drawings and stuff in real time. It's also a stupid idea, but it was fun making it. So that's my next video going live next week, which I'm currently editing. And I really liked making that one. That was something new. At least I haven't seen any woodworker with a VR headset on.
That's super cool. Which one did you use?
The Meta Quest.
Okay.
It's sketchy as
Awesome, man. And we can expect 2 videos a month from you. I'm looking forward to them. Someone posted, Barat said in the chat, "Oh my God, you got the man who makes the beautiful videos."
Thank you.
MLV wants to know about your Orange Storm Giga. I know the answer to this, but did you keep it?
I sold it to a guy who was making props for TV, actually, because he wanted to make really big prints. I had no idea what to use it for myself, so
Totally.
I sold it. Yeah.
And was yours okay, or did you have a lot of problems like Joel?
Mine broke the same, basically exactly the same thing as Joel's, but my print head stayed intact enough for me to finish the video and the project. But it was broken, and there was like, when I opened it up, there was blue filament leaked inside of the nozzle, and I never used any blue filament for it, so it was basically something wrong from the factory already.
That's a bummer. What have you? Sam Fisher wants to know what you've thought of the K2 Plus.
It's a solid printer. I would say it's the K2 Plus. It's the K2 Max I have, so I don't have the Plus one, so I wouldn't know about that one. But the K2 Max is solid.
Wait a minute, there's a K2 Max?
Yeah, the old one, the K2 and K2 Max.
K1,
isn't it?
K1 Max.
K1. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Not at the chat. We've got more. It's amazing how people are so persistent creating more and more accounts. Well, I guess that's a good. It's a good time to end on that. Pierre, thanks for making the time today. I know you're a busy man, and you're always welcome to come back. Me. Yeah, man, it's always a pleasure. And let's keep in touch, and let me know if I can be of service in any way with any of your projects.
Yeah, thanks. You too.
All right, my friend. Take care. Bye, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.